From the Tennessee Valley Weather Channel, this is a special report.
Hey folks, thank you so much for stopping by Tennessee Valley Weather. I'm Ben Luna here in Studio B alongside Mr. Ryan Husted, the new Warning Coordination Meteorologist for the National Weather Service office in Nashville. He joins us today as kind of the newest resident of the Middle Tennessee area. Welcome to the Nashville County Warning Area and Middle Tennessee, and you have kind of arrived here with a little bit of trial by fire with a major tornado event already under your belt, having been here, just a few months.
Yes, that's correct. And I'm glad you mentioned trial by fire, because there's been some of that too, right? Like my time here has started with drought and fire outlooks and some wildfires across the area. And now we've jumped into tornadoes.
Fantastic. And you know, the job, and I want to commend you guys, because the job that you all did during that for not just the Tennessee Valley Weather Viewing Area, but for all of Middle Tennessee, despite having a large damaging tornado on the ground within, 3 miles of your office.
Yes.
You guys never relented. You stayed the course, and you did a phenomenal job warning and making sure as many people were as safe as possible during that event. And so that was a terrific job that you and the entire staff there did.
And I thank you for that. Yes, it was a little nerve-wracking, because one of the tornadoes was aimed at our office initially. And thankfully we have backup offices, so we gave Morristown a call. So the service wouldn't have stopped, but we do like taking care of our people in our area. You know, we're a part of the community as well. You know, we're not just trying to save you. We're also trying to think about our families, our friends.
Absolutely.
You know, and the people that we work frequently with. So our hearts are always with these communities to do the best we can at any time, whether it's day to day, whether it is severe weather events, preparation meetings in communities, stuff like that.
Awesome. Let's talk a little bit about, you know, who is Ryan? Where, you know, how did you get involved in not just the love of weather, but how did you wind up with the National Weather Service?
Sure. The love of weather started very early. I grew up in Dallas-Fort Worth, and we had a storm there called the Mayfest storm. Mm-hmm. And that resulted in softball-sized hail across a large part of the city. And I remember everybody needing a new roof, new vehicle, new windows, new everything pretty much, vinyl siding, because that storm just destroyed the houses. And so that was my hook. And then, of course, the creek across the street, I'd always run over there during the thunderstorm. Don't do that. That's what I did. That's what I tell people don't do anymore. But I'd go see how high is the water now. And so that was another hook. So from there, I knew I wanted to be a meteorologist. I went to Texas A&M, and then during my time at A&M, I saw a internship available, and so I called in and I asked, you know, what's the El Paso office like? And they basically asked, why do you want to go there? I was like, if it means a job after college, I'll do anything. And so they told me go to New Braunfels, which is Austin San Antonio office. So that was my first weather office, and then when I graduated, right into the Memphis office, then 11 years in Goodland, Kansas, 7 of which doing the job I have now, and then now here in Nashville as of October.
Awesome. And again, you've stepped into the world of crazy Middle Tennessee weather, where I know it's said on Facebook and social media dozens and dozens of times, but if you don't like weather around here, just wait a few minutes and you'll have something different. And drought to a tornado event within a matter of 3 months.
Yes. You know, you hear that phrase a lot of places. I'm not used to it as much in December because being out in Kansas, it was all snow since like October. So that's a little different, having a tornado threat in December. That's an adjustment I'll be making. I can't rely on 5 months of not having to worry about tornadoes whatsoever. You know, here we're going to have that good mix. You know, could have floods, tornadoes, winter and ice storms. You know,
you get it all here.
Can have high wind events as we saw early March of last year. so, or early March of this year. So you're right, you can certainly see it all, and that's one of the things that I enjoy about my job is there's always variety. It keeps it interesting. It keeps my interest. It's not monotonous and same thing every day. Like I could never be a forecaster in San Diego, only forecasting fog and then highs in the 70s during the afternoon. I could never do that.
It's a little bit more of a challenge around here.
Yes, it's certainly a challenge. And then you get into all the microclimates, and that makes it a challenge as well, too. So it's very interesting to me.
Let's talk about the tornado event from a couple of weeks ago.
Okay.
That was an event that became a historic event very quickly, with several tornadic storms on the ground through northern Middle Tennessee. Talk about some of your experiences on the ground after that in surveying some of the storm damage, which I know you've done, dozens and dozens of times before in your career. What might have made this any different with this event?
Sure. So I had the same job out in Goodland, Kansas for 7 years. Then I got promoted to Nashville. And so the biggest difference was doing it in the metro area, doing those damage assessments in very populated communities. I got very used to it hit a farmstead here, it hit a farmstead there, and then the next farmstead.
Miles apart.
Miles apart, yes, exactly. Only seeing 5 farmsteads in a day. And here I'm walking through subdivisions and seeing whole subdivisions impacted, whether it's just windows or roofs or trees or either way, everybody had an impact. Everybody had a story. And so that's what made it very different this time. I surveyed primarily the Madison to Hendersonville to Gallatin tornado. I was on that 3 or 4 days, I think. And so I got very used to that area. And like I said, hearing people's stories, talking to people about what they did, where they took shelter, just seeing large quantities of buildings damaged or destroyed. That was the big difference for me. You're right. I've done storm surveys before, but this, it was a much larger amount, a much higher scope than anything I've seen before.
And you've had your time, as you said, in Kansas, which has been part of the traditional tornado alley. In the South, we have Dixie Alley,
Yes.
and we're kind of right in the belt buckle of that as well. But your time in Memphis, how did that kind of maybe strengthen your forecasting skills for the career position that you have today?
Sure. So Memphis, I had April 27, 2011. That is probably my career-defining moment. I still have a long ways to go in the rest of my career, but that one helped prime me for what we see in this part, in Middle Tennessee, in northern Alabama, because I got used to storms rolling through at 2, 3, 4 in the morning. I don't get that in Kansas. So having that previous knowledge, having worked at the Memphis office, when I'm sitting at the desk now here in Nashville, it's like, okay, I've seen this before. It's not a concept that I don't understand. I understand how severe weather works. We talk about the squall lines and how they can produce tornadoes here as well. That's not something I see. I saw maybe once in Kansas in my 11 years out there. So I knew to prepare for that. The river flooding in 2011, I got a ton of that while I was in Memphis too. So need to relearn some of the buttons to be prepared for river flooding, but I know how those things go at least. So I'm not coming here from Kansas without much knowledge at all about the area, because I have been here for a couple years before and talked to the media, talked to emergency management, talked to people here. So I do understand the area. Is there more I can learn? Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, we learn something new every day.
Exactly. That's the great thing
That's
about
it.
weather.
Yeah.
You learn something new every day.
Real quick, and I know you've been now to this area, I think, a couple of times.
Sure.
You were here for our grand opening of our new facility, and
Yes.
back today, hanging out with the EMA and learning this part of the state. Have you had the opportunity to kind of travel around different parts of Middle Tennessee yet?
I'm getting there. One of my goals is to go out and meet all the emergency managers in the first 3 to 6 months. oddly enough, it's kind of scary when you think about it. I was in Clarksville, Tennessee on December 6th, talking with the Stewart County and Montgomery County emergency managers, talking with the local radio station up there as well. And we talked about, getting people on our tools to help them be ready. I didn't know we needed that quickly, but the sooner I get out and talk to people, the better, because of things like that. You never know when that disaster is going to strike. So that's definitely my goal. So I've been to the Clarksville area. I've been out to Cookeville. I've come down here. I've been to Bedford County.
Nice.
Been to Tennessee Emergency Management Headquarters and Nashville Emergency Management Headquarters. So I'm getting there, but there's a lot of area to cover. So
It's a big area.
I need to hit the road a lot more. 38 counties versus the 19 I was used to in Kansas. It's a big difference.
Well, you are welcome in this part of the world anytime.
Thank you, and I appreciate that, and I feel that. I've really enjoyed my time here and felt very welcome so far.
Well, we do have one tradition in this area, and that is a long-time thing. And we've explained before, Lawrenceburg doesn't have a key to the city. We have a coonskin cap because of our connection with Davy Crockett, and it would not be an official visit from the National Weather Service if we did not make sure that you had a coonskin cap to put on and to make sure everybody back in Nashville knew that you've been to Lawrenceburg for the day.
All right, so we are going to do this. Huh?
We're going to do it.
All right, very.
That's perfect. That is perfect.
Thank you.
Ryan,
Thank
welcome.
you very much.
We hope you enjoy your time here.
Appreciate
it. And you're here for a very, very long time.
Okay. Thank you very much.
It. Thank you. Guys, thank you for tuning in for this special report from the Tennessee Valley Weather Center. Have a great day.